Hi, Ron Siliko here. In this video today, I want to talk about what, in my experience, have been two of the most personal things that leaders have to deal with or manage or work with their colleagues, their coworkers, their teammates, those that are under their supervision. And those are, number one is, what is the person's work schedule? Some people have different expectations on this, but I'm going to speak very generally that by and large, people take the hours that they are going to work with the utmost concern and consideration for their personal time. So I think a couple tips that are helpful in dealing with this. Sometimes situations are not going to be agreeable. Sometimes they will be ugly. Sometimes it may result in people leaving, and it in some cases depends on what kind of business that you're in. I work in a service industry, which is open generally 17 hours a day during the week and then 15 and 13 hours a day on the weekends. We are a 24/7 operation, so we do also have a third shift staff. I think number one is you have to be very clear from the beginning when interviewing a candidate what the expectation of hours are. Number two is consider what kind of business model you do have. We have what I would call a mixed model in terms of flex scheduling. We do allow staff to flex their schedule somewhat based on the areas of responsibility that they feel need the most personal attention. However, we do have a significant time for value model where we do require specific hours, specific times for specific types of supervision or coverage. So making those expectations known on the front end of the interview process is very important. There should be no surprises. If people decline jobs because the hours are not agreeable, well, at least you're learning that up front. If it's a candidate that you may want to negotiate based on feedback that you get during the process, that's your decision, but you have to make the decision that's best for your team and your group. The second part about the expectations is if that person's work schedule is going to change, you have to be very clear about the reasons why, how long you expect the schedule change to take place, and when you want to begin implementing that. Setting expectations and sharing your reasons why are very important. The third point with that is, as a leader, I think you need to have a servant mentality to where you are picking up and sharing in some of the less desirable shifts, if there are those, taking part in that. That's a true example of a servant leader, but being willing to pitch in and help out with that. So those are the things I want to talk about with work schedules. The second thing is a person's work area, office. Some people don't necessarily care. They are just happy to have a work area. They don't care if people are going in and out. But some people take it very seriously and it is a show of respect. And in some cases, I've learned how important this is to people the hard way. And I wish I had opportunities to take things back or change the process to make it a better situation. A couple factors to consider is, number one, what kind of a work environment do you want for your team? Do you want an open environment? Do you want a closed environment? Do you want teams working together in an office space, an open office space, closed office spaces? And then I think also you want to consider the personality of the staff that you work with. Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? And then third is, what helps that individual be the most productive that they can with the type of work that they need to do. If you have someone that needs to have a closed office situation because they have to do very detailed work that does not need a lot of interruptions for that person to be effective, you should consider a closed office environment for that person. Sometimes based on space or lack of space, you may have to have some compromises here and there, but you want to create good situations for your team. But it's been my experience that you need to strongly consider office areas, and if you are going to be making changes, I would recommend having a very broad approach to thinking about what you want to do, get suggestions and inputs from others, the people that are affected, running it by them, and giving them some time to think about the pros and cons of the situation. And obviously, some people take it very personally, and I understand and respect that. I've also erred not only in not being clear with the process, but also not giving enough time for the process to sink in and marinate. So I would recommend learn from my mistakes and do those things so you can create the best situations you can for their team. But again, to recap, work schedules and workstations or office areas are the two most personal things that I have experienced in general that people care about tremendously. So please be aware of that, be cognizant of it, and always have a purpose and a reason why and a well thought out plan. Thank you for watching, and good luck with any of these situations that you may have.